Having conquered vast swathes of Asia, Genghis Khan's generals continued their relentless westward expansion. Their reconnaissance mission soon transformed into a full-scale incursion towards unknown lands and new enemies, which took him and his Mongol followers from a small tribe in the Mongolian steppe to ruling one of the largest empires the world had ever seen. In the last episode, we left off with Genghis Khan uniting the various Mongol tribes under his banner and establishing the foundations of a vast empire. With his main rivals defeated, he turned his attention to the west, sending his trusted generals, Subutai and Jebe, to explore and conquer the lands beyond the mountains. They easily defeated its armies and took control of important cities such as Suzhou and Zhangzhou. However, the Mongols' superior military tactics and use of archery proved to be too much for the locals to handle. Despite facing challenging terrain and determined opponents, the Mongol army pressed on. Here they encountered the Cumans, a nomadic people living in the open fields. The Cumans were skilled horse riders and archers, making them formidable opponents. They had previously raided into the lands of the Western Jia dynasty, but now found themselves facing a far greater threat. Among them were seasoned warriors ready to defend their homeland, so the scales seemed tipped in favor of the Rus, outnumbering the Mongols. The Allies confidently anticipated a swift victory. The battle had been a testament to their military prowess and strategic brilliance. Yet even in victory, there was a sense of unease. Their journey had been long and arduous, but the knowledge they had gained was a treasure trove that Genghis Khan would use to plan future campaigns. The echoes of the Kalka River battle reverberated through the annals of history, serving as a reminder of the challenges that lay ahead for the Mongols. In their quest for domination, it was a victory that opened doors to new possibilities, setting the stage for future encounters between the Mongol Empire and the diverse civilizations of the West. Subutai and Jebe had accomplished their mission of reconnaissance, and they knew that what they had faced on the Kalka River was only a fraction of the power the West could muster. Subutai and Jebe had devised a brilliant strategy to counter their numerical disadvantage. Feigning a retreat, the Mongols lured the overconfident allied army into a trap. As the Rus and Cuman troops pursued the retreating Mongols, they fell into a carefully laid ambush. The stage was set for the great showdown on the Kalka River, where the destinies of the Rus, the Cumans and the Mongols would collide in a clash of civilizations. With the alliance between the Rus and the Cumans solidified, the stage was set for an epic confrontation with the Mongols. The vast allied army led by Mstislav the Bold marched toward the Kalka River, where the Mongol scouts were camped. Both sides prepared for battle, each eager to claim victory in this monumental clash of cultures. At their head stood Mstislav the Bold, a symbol of the Rus' determination to resist the Mongol invaders. As the army assembled, anticipation hung heavy in the air. The approaching Mongols loomed as a formidable challenge. The Rus and Cuman soldiers found themselves in a desperate struggle for survival. His death marked a significant loss for the Rus, who had hoped to rally against the Mongol invaders. With the fall of their leaders, the already demoralized troops were left leaderless and vulnerable, struggling to cope with the relentless Mongol assault. The Battle of Kalka River stands as a testament to the cunning and military brilliance of the Mongols under the leadership of Genghis Khan. The decisive victory over the Rus and Cuman forces showcased their strategic prowess and adaptability on the battlefield, forever changing the course of history. The Mongols, disciplined and well-coordinated, overwhelmed their adversaries with superior tactics and archery skills. Trapped between the Mongols and their allies, some units valiantly fought back, but the odds were stacked against them. Faced with the ferocity of the Mongol assault, many soldiers lost their lives, adding to the tragic tale of the Battle of Kalka River. Realizing the Mongols posed a serious danger, the Cuman leaders knew they needed help. They sent messengers to the Rus principalities in the north asking for aid. Among the Rus princes they contacted was Mstislav the Bold, who answered the call for assistance. In the mountains, they fought against the Georgian knights, known for their skill in combat. Yet they couldn't shake off a sense of foreboding. What would the enigmatic Rus princes decide? Would they stand with the Cumans against the advancing Mongol horde? Now, the answer lay in the hands of Mstislav the Bold and his fellow Rus rulers. Though initially taken aback by the Mongols' swift and deadly archery, the Georgians regrouped and prepared for a counterattack. These nomadic envoys carried tales of a powerful enemy, stirring both intrigue and apprehension. As they shared stories of the Mongol invaders, a somber realization dawned on Mstislav. The time for action was at hand. Summoning the strength of the Rus, he rallied his fellow princes, preparing for a confrontation with the Mongols. A sense of urgency gripped the Rus leaders. They understood the gravity of the situation. If united, they might stand a chance against the Mongol onslaught. But old rivalries and mistrust ran deep. Nevertheless, driven by the common threat, they set aside their differences, forming a formidable alliance. Engaging in close combat, both sides fought fiercely. But as the battle raged, the Mongols' superior numbers and strategic brilliance began to take hold. Recognizing the strength of their opponents, the Mongols adopted new tactics, exploiting every advantage they could find. Through cunning and determination, they gradually gained the upper hand. Eventually, the Mongols' discipline and adaptability prevailed. Despite the Georgians' valiant efforts, the Mongol army emerged victorious, adding another triumph to their growing list of conquests. But their real challenge lay ahead: the Caucasus region, home to many different groups of people and kingdoms, including the Kingdom of Georgia. As they advanced further into the Caucasus, they encountered diverse peoples and kingdoms, each presenting unique challenges and opportunities for growth. The Mongols' insatiable curiosity about the world around them drove them to engage with different cultures, learn from their customs, and expand their understanding of the vast realm they were creating. By embracing cultural exchange, the Mongols enriched their own traditions while forging alliances and learning from their encounters across the Caucasus. The Mongols, however, weren't intimidated. Under the leadership of Subutai and Jebe, they charged forward, ready to face any challenge that came their way. Brilliant generals, Jebe and Subutai, leading a force of around 20,000, embarked on one of the greatest reconnaissance raids in history. They swept through northern Persia, crossed the daunting Caucasus Mountains, and ventured deep into Eastern Europe, clashing with local tribes and kingdoms along the way. How did the Mongols fare against their European adversaries? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to the 7th episode of our series exploring the fascinating history of Genghis Khan and his rise to power. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more entertaining and educational content. The year is 1221, and the mighty Mongols have just shattered the Khwarezmians at the Battle of Indus. But now what? They encountered ambassadors from the Western Jia dynasty who were traveling to Khwarezm for trade. Upon questioning, the ambassadors revealed not only the location of markets and trading centers, but also told tales of the wealth and luxury that awaited those who ventured further. Subutai and Jebe, intrigued and eager to expand the Mongol Empire, decided to follow the trail of these ambassadors, venturing into uncharted territory in search of new conquests and riches. This marked the beginning of their astonishing ride across Persia, the Caucasus, and into Eastern Europe. For centuries, the Mongol tribes have lived rather isolated in the Mongolian steppe. They haven't really had much experience with what else is out there in the world. So now that they have their first taste of foreign lands and riches, they want more. Genghis Khan sends his best general, Subutai, and another fierce warrior, Jebe, to lead a reconnaissance mission. Their orders are simple yet ambitious: go west and see what is out there. When Subutai and Jebe reached the western border of the empire, they found an abundant land filled with riches and opportunities. As they moved through Persia, the two generals realized that the Western Jia dynasty wasn't as strong as it once was. As the Mongol army moved through the Caucasus, they faced fierce resistance from the local inhabitants. With each victory, the Mongols gained valuable knowledge about their adversaries and learned to adapt their strategies accordingly. After defeating the Georgian knights, Subutai and Jebe's armies descended from the mountains onto the vast plains of what is now Ukraine. As the Cuman ambassadors traveled to the Rus lands seeking aid against the Mongol invaders, hope flickered in their hearts. In the heart of the Rus, Mstislav the Bold received the Cuman ambassadors with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. As the Rus princes assembled their forces, a vast army numbering between 40 and 60,000 men gathered, a testament to the unity forged in the face of adversity. And when the two armies finally met near the Kalka River in 1223, caught off guard by the Mongols' sudden reversal of fortune, among the fallen were many notable figures from the Rus principalities, including the brave Mstislav the Bold. As the sun set over the battlefield of Kalka River, the Mongols emerged victorious, having defeated the combined forces of the Rus and Cuman tribes. And so the two generals returned to Mongolia with tales of the western lands, bringing back invaluable intelligence about the geography, resources, and military capabilities of their potential adversaries. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Genghis Khan and the rise of the Mongol Empire.